Well, everybody, welcome to the next game in the 1987 American League replay. We're in Detroit, Tiger Stadium. Minnesota Twins face the Detroit Tigers. This was the real world American League Championship Series. But we get a preview of that in the regular season right here at Tiger Stadium. It'll be Walt Terrell for the Detroit Tigers against Les Moonstraker for the Minnesota Twins. Tigers enter the game 24-20, Minnesota 22-24. This is the next to last game on May the 29th. It's game number 316 here at Tiger Stadium. Singles not too good. 2 for lefties and 1 for righties on the singles, but the home runs improved dramatically. 1-14 for home runs for lefties and 1-11 for right-handers. Holding runners is also a different story. Walt Terrell is a -5 when you combine him with the catcher Mike Heath. Terrell's a -3 and Heath's a -2 for a total of -5. Les Straker's a +2. Laudner's a 0, so he's a +2 on the hold chances. And a couple of roster notes that will be coming up. Not this game, but the next game after this game is over. Well, this game, Darnell Coles is on the disabled list. The Tigers will make 2 call-ups, but they won't happen until tomorrow. One is middle infielder Jim Whalewander. He will take Coles' spot. But the biggest addition will be the relief pitcher Willie Hernandez will be joining the team to give their bullpen some much-needed depth, and he will be coming up on the May 30th game. So keep an eye on that. Hello, Mr. Jeff, and lest you think I came unprepared, there it is. And to borrow your phrase that you've coined, that's good coffee. All right. To finish out the week tomorrow, we have a doubleheader. It'll be, the first game will be Toronto and Kansas City from Kansas City. That'll be at the normal 9-ish, 9:15, whatever, whenever I get ready kind of thing. But then the second game will be at noon, and that'll be the National League game of the day for May 29th, and that'll be the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres from San Diego. So that will be at noon. Now, roughly around noon today, we'll replay Game 5 of the World Series that went on last night in Los Angeles, where Toronto now has a 3-2 lead. But my replay on History Maker, the Dodgers lead 3-1. So if they lose this game coming up this afternoon, my series will be over. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. And, of course, once that series is over, then I'll go back to the Demolition League and get that rebooted again and continue it with this and drive on, as they say. All right, so I do have the game up on the computer as usual. Look at Walt Terrell on the season. Let's look at his real numbers. 17-10 with a 4.05 ERA. On the replay, he's 5-1 with an ERA of 3.92. So the ERA is not that much difference, 3.92 to 4.05. So it's pretty consistent. 60 innings pitched, 67 hits, 19 walks, and 33 strikeouts. And leading off for the Minnesota Twins will be Dan Mann from Gladden. Gladden is hitting .229 on the replay, 3 homers, 11 driven in. He hit .249 real world. And we're underway from Tiger Stadium. 2-5, it's a ground ball to short, and Alan Trammell will handle it with no problems whatsoever. And that's 1 away. Let me see, I just missed something with the computer, so I'll use the old undo button, which is always a wonderful feature. Would be lost without it. So we got a ground ball to short, 1 away, and that will bring up Greg Gagne, the shortstop for the Twins. Greg Gagne hitting .357 on the replay. Has really been having a good replay season. 3 homers, 16 driven in. He hit .265 real world. Hello, Chuck. Gagne, 6-8 from Terrell is a solid single to center field for Gagne. But the -5 hold rating going to probably, not probably, but it will keep him glued to first base. They will hold him on, but he's not going to go anywhere. And here's Kirby Puckett. Puckett hitting .327 on the replay, 7 homers, 23 driven in. He hit .332 real world. And Puckett looking to do damage against Walt Terrell. 3-4. And that is a line out to third base, and that is Tom Brookins for 2 down. And in case I'm not sure when you came in, Chuck, but I did announce that there are some real-life roster changes to deal with for the Tigers coming up. Today's game, Darnell Coles goes on the disabled list. Tomorrow, May the 30th, they will call up a middle infielder named Jim Whalewander, and they will also call up or bring back from injury Willie Hernandez. Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez, will be joining the team tomorrow as well to give their bullpen some much-needed depth. All right, so here's Kent Herbeck. Oops, dropped my die, and it fell right down here. Got it. Okay, hello, Joel. Good to see you. Hopefully we have no internet issues today. That's what I'm hoping for. Kent Herbeck is your batter. He is hitting .311 on the replay, 13 homers, 38 driven in. He hits .285 real world. That's a 1, so Walt Terrell has a wild pitch option of 7. But he's going to get blocked by Heath, so we drive on. 3-10, and that's a walk, so the inning will continue as Herbeck will draw the base on balls. And that'll send it to Gary Gaetti in a clutch situation. Gary Gaetti will gain a couple of hits, one on 3-9 and one on 3-10. So he is a little bit better in the clutch than usual. On the replay, he's been struggling, though, only hitting .219, 9 homers, 36 driven in. He hit .257 real world. So he could certainly use a big hit here to kind of get his replay started, to get it back on track. 1-7, and that's possible right here. 1-15, and there you go. Talk about getting back on track. He just did it. 1-7. 1-7 is a home run. 1-15, and that's a 9. That is gone. That is a Earl Weaver special. 3-run home run from Gary Gaetti as he takes Walt Terrell deep, and the Twins lead it 3-0 here in the top of the first. That is home run number 10 for Gary Gaetti. RBIs 37, 38, and 39. He hit 31 homers real world. So he's about right on tune. He's got a third of his home runs and about a third of his at-bats. So he's right on pace for his home runs. Just has to get his average up a little bit. And that home run certainly won't hurt the deal. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Roy Smalley. He's hitting .282 on the replay. 2 homers, 17 driven in. He hit .275 real world. And that's 3-8, and he will fly to center to end the inning. But a big 3 spot here in the first inning. And getting back to the roster for Detroit, to make room for Willie Hernandez, they're going to, Whalewander's going to take cold spots, but to make room for Willie Hernandez, Billy Bean will be sent down to Toledo. And so that'll allow the Tigers to bring up Willie Hernandez. That'll be after this game's on the May 30th dates when that's all going to happen. All right, so Les Straker, the pitcher for the Twins, he was 8-10 real world with a .437 earned run average. In the replay, he is 3-3 with an ERA of 5.93. So he's not pitched very well at all, but he's gotten some run support. It's kept him out of too much trouble. But he hasn't pitched well at all. 30 innings pitched, 39 hits. He's walked 20 batters in 30 innings. That's been a bugaboo for his as well, with 19 strikeouts. Hello, G Puck. Whalewander was in a band called the Dead Milkmen. Okay, that's interesting. I just like the name Whalewander. I thought it was very interesting. All right, here's Lou Whitaker. He's going to lead off. He's hitting .275 on the replay. 12 homers, 37 driven in. He hit .265 real world. 6-4, and that's a pop out to first base. One away. I expect a lot of runs in this game. 1, because neither pitcher is that great, and 2, Tiger Stadium, especially for home runs, is very hitter-friendly. Here's Darrell Evans. He's hitting .248, 10 homers, 27 driven in, and hit .257 real world. 3-9, and that's trouble for Straker. 1-12 is a double. That's a 3, so it's a 1-out double for Darrell Evans. And now we get to the big boys, Gibson and Trammell. Kirk Gibson is up. He's hitting .398 on the replay, but he only has 83 at bats, so he doesn't qualify for the league lead. hit 277 real world, but he's been powdering the ball since his comeback from injury. 1-8, and that will continue. Ballpark blast for Gibson. It's a 1-14, but that's a 15. Boy, talk about a bad break. Missed it by one. Missed, like Maxwell Smart would say, missed it by that much. So that is 2 down. And that'll send up Alan Trammell. That's speaking of Maxwell Smart, I thought about doing that with the History Maker Baseball. They have pitchers have qualities. If they are really good control pitcher, don't walk a lot of guys, they get control. And if they are a little bit out of the strike zone and issue a lot of walks, they have a quality called wild. I was thinking about changing the wild quality to chaos with a K. And that way you either have control like 99 and Maxwell Smart, or you have chaos like Siegfried. But didn't want to do that. But that was a thought. All right, here's Alan Trammell. You see where my mind is half the time. Here's Trammell. He's hitting 393, 11 homers, 32 driven in. He hit 343 real world. So he's near the top of the league lead in batting. I'm not sure if it's 135 at bats is enough to get him the league lead. It might be. Every at bat he gets is going to add to his total that makes him qualify. 3-5, and that's a single to left field. Evans, though, doesn't run all that well. Left fielder arm glads a 0. Evans was not being held, makes him an 11. 2 outs makes him a 13. 1-13, and he would score it. So they're going to send him 1-13. That's 65%. And I know Matt Noakes does not have 65% chance of getting a base hit. So they're going to send him. The Twins are throwing home. If he's safe, Trammell, because he's a 14, would take second on the throw. But it is a 1-13 to be safe. And he's in there. So Evans hustles and slides in for the RBI single from Trammell, and Trammell will take second on the throw. The throw was not cut, so it is able to score Evans and send Trammell to second base with 2 outs. A clutch situation now for Matt Noakes. It's a 3-1 game now as the Tigers are on the board. Matt Noakes hitting 254 on the replay, 13 homers, 36 driven in. He hit 289 real world. In the clutch, Noakes will lose a hit on 3-5. Also loses hits on 2-6 and 2-7, so definitely anti-clutch. But it's a 4-6, and that's a walk, so Straker will walk him. And he will pass the baton now to Pat Sheridan. Sheridan, a solid hitter. Hit 259 on the real season. In the replays, hitting 246, 3 homers, 15 driven in. Good speed at second base in Trammell. 1-9, and that's another walk. So all of a sudden, Straker now has walked the bases loaded after seemingly having a good outing in the first inning, but he's lost a little bit of his control in it. It's causing chaos for the Twins. So here comes Mike Heath with the bases loaded and 2 outs. In the clutch, Heath will lose a hit on 2-8 and on 3-10 and 3-5. So he's definitely anti-clutch. On the season, he hit 281 real world. On the replays, hitting 294, 3 homers, 13 driven in. Bases loaded, 2 outs, but a base hit here could tie the game. 5-7. That's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Gagne. It's a 2E24. 2E24. 2 and an 8. He'll get to that. But will there be an error? E24, and that's an 8. I think that'd be all right. Yep, 24, you have to have a 4, 6, 15, 17, or 18 for an error. So he will make the play, and that will end the inning. So the Tigers get a run. They could have had more, but already we can see that this is setting up to be a high-scoring affair. So we go to the top of the second. 3-1 Twins. And Tom Brunansky will lead things off as we get another sip of coffee while it's still hot. That's mandatory. So, Tom Brunansky on the replay is hitting 290, 7 homers, 20 driven in. Real world, he hit 259. 5-4. Ground ball third base X, we're looking at Brookins. 3E21 for Brookins. 3-11, he should get to that, no problem. 3-11 is a G2. That's an 8. And he is an E21. E21, there's a 6-11, 16, but no 8. So Brookins will make the play, throwing out Bernansky. Start the top of the second. Here comes Steve Lombardozzi, second baseman. He is hitting 294 on the replay, 2 homers, 15 driven in. He only hit 238 real world, so he's really exceeded expectations. 5-5, but this time he'll ground it to Lou Whitaker. Easy play, 2 down. Much better start for Terrell. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Tim Laudner, the catcher. Laudner hitting 277 on the replay, 5 homers, 13 driven in, doing much, much better. He only hit 191 real world. So he's found some magic here in this replay so far. 1-6, but not here. He's going to strike out. That's the first strikeout for Terrell. And the Twins go 1-2-3 here in the second inning. So here's Les Straker. And he's back out to face Chet Lemon of the Tigers, getting back in the lineup. He's been out of the lineup for a while, and they've been using Billy Bean and some others in center. But now Chet Lemon trying to reestablish himself to be the everyday center fielder. Lemon on the replay, though, has been struggling mightily. 184 on the replay, a homer and 8 driven in. He hit 277 real world. So Lemon needs to pick it up big time. 110, that's a ballpark single check, but that's not very good. So that's going to be a fly to left. And Gladden will haul it in, 1 away for the third baseman, Tom Brookins. Brookins on the replay hitting 279, 2 homers, 12 driven in. He hit 241 real world. 5-8, and that's a pop out to second base. 2 down. And that'll send up Mr. Whitaker. Mr. Whitaker, the batter. 5-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Gagne again, 2E24. 2-15, that's good. E24, that's a 17. That could be a little rough. E24 and a 17, that's a 2-base error on Greg Gagne. So he tried to hurry the throw, and it sailed over the head of Herbeck, and we get a 2-base error. It's going to put Whitaker at second base with 2 outs. And now it's up to Darrell Evans in the clutch. Evans in the clutch is pretty good. 1-6 and 110 are hits. They turn into hits, so he's got 2 extra hits on the clutch. Facing Les Straker. 4-5, though, is a ground ball to second. Lombardozzi will field it, and Straker pitches around the 2-base error. And at the end of 2, it's still 3-1 Twins. Waltero back out. Will be facing top of the order, Dan Gladden. Gladden, his first time up, grounded to short. 6-7. This time a 1-5 as a single. Anything else he lines to short. So this time he will line it to Trammell. 1 away. 1 down, and that brings up Gagne, shortstop. 1-9 for Gagne. That's trouble for Terrell. 1-10's a triple. That's a 19. It'll be a double. So Gagne now a single and a double. First 2 at bats. Put the pressure on Terrell, and here comes Kirby. Bucket lined hard to Brookins' his first chance. 6-6, and that's a strikeout, a big one for Terrell. Strikeout number 2. And now it's a clutch situation for Kent Herbeck. First base is open, but Gaetti just hit the home run last time. So, boy, you got to pick your poison here. I guess they'll go ahead and pitch to Herbeck, but try to pitch carefully. 1-3, and they do. Ground ball to short. That's going to end it as Terrell pitches around the 1-out double by Gagne. You go to the bottom of the third, still 3-1. as the Tigers look to put some runs on the board second time through against Mr. Straker. It'll be Gibson, Trammell, and Noakes, heart of the order. 3, 4, and 5 hitters. 3-6, and that's a strikeout. So Gibson out on strikes, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Mr. Straker. And that'll bring up Alan Trammell, shortstop. Had an RBI single his first time up. 5-9. This time he's going to line it right to Gary Gaetti for out number 2. And that'll take us to Matt Noakes. I'm really looking forward to the end of this month. End of this month in the replay, not the end of this month real world, but in the month in the replay. So because I plan on doing a complete statistical show showing all the team stats. I'm going to do it on the computer. I'm going to show all the team, stats for everybody. League leaders, standings, stats, whole 9 yards. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to do it after the last game on May the 31st, before the first game of June 1st. All right, here's Noakes. 2-6, and that's a single for Matt Noakes. 2-out single for Noakes. He will not be held, not go anywhere. And here's Pat Sheridan. 2-5 for Sheridan. That's a fly to right. Bernansky hauls it in, and that's it for 3 innings of play. Twins still holding on to that 3-1 lead. And Waltero back out. We'll be facing Gaetti, Smalley, and Bernansky. Start the top of the 4th. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's to Trammell. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. We're just looking at E21. And for an E21, 6, 15, and 17 are the only error chances. And he's going to be fine on that, so Trammell makes the play. Gaetti is retired. It brings up Roy Smalley. But before Roy Smalley hits, another necessary sip of coffee. Hey, Dr. D. Hello, Kathy. All right. Roy Smalley now will bat. Flew out to center his first time up. 3-7 for Smalley. He's going to strike out. That's strikeout number 3 for Waltero. 2 down for Tom Brunansky. 5-4. That is a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Brookins again. A 3E21 for Mr. Brookins. 3-2. Devil Die shows up big time. That's a base hit. And could be trouble here, too, with the 16. He's an E21. There's a 16 here for an error. The 3 and the 2 is a single. So it's going to be a single plus an error on Brookins. 2-out single for Bernansky, and then he goes to second on the Brookins error. So with 2 outs now, Bernansky's in scoring position for Lombardozzi and makes this a clutch situation for Lombardozzi, who is not too good in the clutch, at least in column 3. He loses a hit on 3-5 and 3-9. So a little bit of anti-clutch there. Lombardozzi grounded to second his first time up. 6-6, and that's a strikeout for Terrell to end the inning. So he pitches around the air, picks his teammate up. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-1 Twins. And I know they lost last night, but if you saw the World Series game, my boy Kike Hernandez, not Enrique Hernandez, but Kike Hernandez hit a home run for the Dodgers. Glad to see Kike do that. You didn't see him call him Enrique on the telecast, did you? All right, so why are we calling him that on the board games? I want to get back on that rant again. But hey, Bill, I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Yeah, Trey Savage came out of nowhere. I mean, he was like a September call-up, and all of a sudden he's been like the darling along with the usual suspects like Kirk and Guerrero. But boy, Yasevich went 7 innings, struck out 12. I think he did some sort of record for strikeouts. I don't know what it was, maybe for a rookie or something. I don't know. Anyway, Mike Heath is up to lead off the bottom of the fourth, 6-8. It's a 1-2 single, and that's a 12, so that's not going to work. It's a line out to Gagne. And there's one away. And for those that are interested, I will be replaying last night's game from the World Series on History Maker Baseball at noon today, noon Eastern. All right, here is Chet Lemon. 3-8, and that is a walk. So Chet Lemon draws the 1-out walk. For Straker, that is his 3rd walk. Lemon, no threat to run. He did not attempt any steals, apparently. Because his card, that's what his card reflects. Here's Tom Brookins, 3rd baseman. (3-5), and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop A. It's a tailor-made 6-4-3 double play. And I still think that there's if they even have some sort of tailor shop should be sponsoring the tailor-made double play of the game. But maybe that's something I do in my fictional league or something. I don't know, but it's just too juicy not to do that. All right, top of the 5th we go. Walt Terrell. Be facing number 9 hitter Laudner, and then back to the top of the order for Gladden and Gagne. Laudner struck out his first chance against Terrell. 4-10. Not this time. 1-11 is a home run, and that's a 5. Tim Laudner has normal power. That is gone. Tim Laudner, look at it again. 4-10 is an in-home run. 1-11. That's a 5, and he's got normal power, so that is out of here. Tim Laudner from the number 9 spot in the order. Dangerous hitter. He only hit 191, but he did hit 16 home runs in just 288 at-bats real world. And in the replay, that is Tim Laudner's 6th home run in his 67th at-bat. RBI number 14. Twins now lead it 4-1. Terrell made a mistake pitch there, no doubt about it. Here's Dan Gladden. 6-7, and that is a single 1-5, but that's a line out to short. One record I know was set last night was there's never been in the history of all the World Series the first 2 batters of the game hitting back-to-back home runs to start the game. That has never happened before, but it happened last night with Davis Snyder, the left fielder, and Guerrero, the first baseman, going back-to-back on Blake Snell. Snyder hit the first pitch of the game, I do believe, and then 2 pitches later, Guerrero did it. So here's Gagne. 2-9, and that is a ground ball to short. 2 down, and here's Kirby Puckett. 6-3 for Puckett. Fly ball to right, and we're looking at Sheridan, 2-9. Should get to that. 2 and 18 is definitely going to be good. E9 and an 8 shouldn't be a problem. And it is not. So Sheridan makes the play. But the Laudner home run gives the Twins a 4-1 lead going to the bottom of the 5th. And Straker will now face Lou Whitaker, top of the order. And it is definitely time for Tigers to make some hay. Straker's not a very good pitcher. You need to take advantage of that. Get those bats going. Maybe the 3rd time through the order's a charm. 2-5 for Whitaker. Not this time. He strikes out. That's only the 2nd strikeout for Straker. So Straker is out of here. Here's Darrell Evans. 4-4, and that's a ground ball third base X, but that's Gaetti. He's pretty good. He's a 1, so we know he's going to get to it. He's an E12. And for a third baseman, the only errors on E12 are 12 and 16. That's it. 12 or 16. There's only 2 errors. And we don't have that, so it's a good play. Or Gaetti. So Gaetti is out of there. 2 down, and that's going to send us... I'm sorry, Evans is out of there. 2 down. That brings up Gibson. Gibson's 0 for 2. 5-7. Ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Gagne again. 2E24 for Gagne. Oh, we got hop and dice. We're going to re-roll everything. 215, he'll get to that. That's an 11, and he is an E24. E24, there's no 11 there, so Gagne will make the play. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Les Straker. I'm not sure what's happened to the Tiger bats. I don't know if they need more coffee or what, but they have been hibernating so far. Go to the top of the 6th, still 4-1 Twins. And it'll be Herbeck, Gaetti, and Smalley to do up. But first, another cup of coffee. And that will send up Herbeck. 2-7, and that's a 1-11 double. So a leadoff double for Herbeck, his first hit of the game. And here's Gaetti. Homered in the first, grounded out to short in the 4th. Herbeck, of course, not being held at second base. 4-8, and that's not going to matter. 1's a double, 2-20 is a single. So it's a 2-star single, so Herbeck will motor around and score, make it 5-1, and now the Tiger bullpen is up in earnest, as Sparky is not happy. So looking at the Tiger bullpen, they have right-handed action. Let me see who's got the most rest. Again, they get Willie Hernandez, but not until tomorrow. So I'll take it back. The Strat computer says he's there now. That's weird. My other source says he's not there till tomorrow, but the Strat-O-Matic computer is putting him on the roster today. So if he's on the Strat roster, I'm going to use him. Not right now because it's not the appropriate time, but I will use him. So with that in mind, they're going to bring in Mike Henneman. But they do say that he's on the roster now. So how about that? But when you're behind, you're not going to use Willie Hernandez. They will use Henneman. Henneman was 11-3 with a 2.98 ERA, real world. Also had 7 saves that season. With in the replays, 1 and 2 with a save and a 3.72 ERA. So that's going to be it for Terrell. They're going to go to Henneman. Terrell's going to go 5+. He is responsible for this runner here, though. He's given up 5 runs so far and 7 hits. He walked just the 1, which was Herbeck, and he struck out 3. But he is definitely on the hook for the loss unless his team does some serious comeback. So Roy Smalley will be up to face him with Gaetti at first base. Henneman trying to stem the tide. 5-4, switch hitter batting left. That's a strikeout for Henneman, so that's a good start. Henneman gets the K. And that will send up Tom Brunansky. That's a 3-4 for Brunansky. It's ground ball third base A. It's a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. So if you're Henneman, can't do any better than that. That will end the inning and will cap the runs at 5 for Terrell. So Terrell an awful outing, but Henneman nice work of relief there, getting the literally twin killing. Go to the bottom of the 6th. This is the fatigue inning for Straker. He does have that 6 factor there. And it's going to be Trammell, Noakes, and Sheridan due up. Tigers need to step it up. 5-6. Fly ball to center. Puckett is there, 1 away. Yankees won in their game, so the Tigers going to fall further back if they don't pull this one out. 1-5, and that's going to be it. Look at this. There you go, Jeffrey. Clean as a baby's ass. Matt Noakes, 1-5. No doubt about it. Matt Noakes comes through with a big home run. It's a solo shot. Unfortunately, if you're a Tiger fan, it's only a solo shot. But it is a home run. Breaks the ice a little bit. That is home run number 14 on the replay for Matt Noakes. RBI number 37. So home run number 14. He had 32 home runs real world. That's his 14th. And cuts the lead to 5-2. Here comes Pat Sheridan, right fielder. 4-11, and that's a ground. Oh, almost another in-home run chance, but 4-11 is a ground ball. Pitcher X. Straker's a 3E10. 3E10. 3 and a 3. That might sneak through for a base hit. 3 and a 3, and it does. So it's a base hit for Sheridan. That's an 8. He's an E10. Don't think that's going to be an issue. It's not. But Sheridan does get the single. And the way he has a +2 on the hold, there's a thought you could send Sheridan here, but he gets picked off on 11 or 12. So I think down 5-2, they're going to hold him there. And here's Mike Heath. You look at Mike Heath's card. He played a little bit of everywhere. Catcher, right field, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, center field. He did everything but pitch, basically. Mike Heath was everywhere. All right. He's like that Johnny Cash song, I've been everywhere, man. He's been everywhere on the field for sure. All right, here is Mike Heath. 4-9, and that's trouble for Straker. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single. Single 2 stars, that'll put runners on the corners, and now Straker, I believe, might be tired. He may be in need of relief. He is tired. Strat-O-Matic computer says he is tired. So the bullpen for Minnesota is starting to loosen. We'll see who they've got potentially with some rest that they can bring in. Keith Atherton. Atherton and Frazier about the same as far as usage goes. Frazier a little bit more rested. So they're going to give Straker another chance, but George Frazier is loosening in the Twins bullpen just in case. They're going to see if Straker, give him at least one more batter to try to get out of this. Facing Chet Lemon. Infield for the Twins is back for the double play. 1-3, and they get that double play from Chet Lemon on a 5-4-3 around the horn double play, and Straker will go ahead and complete his 6 innings and then be lifted. So Les Straker is going to get a chance to get the victory as he goes 6 innings solid, giving up just 2 runs. So he goes 6 innings, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs. He walked 3, and he struck out 2. But he is definitely in line for the win. And we will see George Frazier in the bottom of the 7th for the Twins. But Mike Henneman will come out now for his 2nd inning of work, and he'll be facing Lombardozzi, Laudner, and Gladden. We will have a 7th inning stretch break to reheat my coffee. Hello, Tribe fan, Tim. And that'll bring up Lombardozzi to start off. 1-6 for Lombardozzi. He grounds it to Trammell. That's 1 away. 5-2 Twins, top of the 7th. Tim Laudner homered his last time up. 6-5. This time he flies to center where Chet Lemon will take care of things. 2 down for Dan Gladden. He's 0 for 3 from the leadoff spot. Trammell has retired him all 3 times. 6-7, and he might do it again. Ground ball shortstop X. He's got to stop hitting the ball to Trammell. That's a losing cause. Trammell 1, so we know he can get to it. E21, the only errors are 6, 15, and 17. And we got a 7. It came close, but not quite. So Trammell will take care of business. That's going to be it for Henneman. Actually, no, he's got a relief rating of 3. He's going to keep pitching. With Willie Hernandez added to the roster, they got depth now, so he's going to keep pitching. So we will go to the bottom of the 7th. New pitcher for the Twins is going to be George Frazier. On the real season, he was 5-5 with a 498 earned run average. And Brookins is your scheduled leadoff hitter. We are in the 7th inning, so we can do some pinch hitting, and there may be some pinch hitting going on. Darnell Coles went on the disabled list. They don't have that third baseman, but maybe they have somebody else. They could always move Evans to third and and put Bergman in at first, perhaps, if they need be. So they're going to pinch hit for Brookins with Dave Bergman. So Bergman will pinch hit and stay in the game to play first base. 7th, first base in the 8th, and then Evans will go to third base in the 8th inning. As a third baseman, Evans is a 4.37. So instead of a 4.5, he would now turn into a 4.37. So it's going to be Bergman, Whitaker, and Evans due up here in the bottom of the 7th against George Frazier. But it is 7th inning stretch time, which means coffee heating time and time for me to move around and check on Tabby and all that stuff for a few seconds. She's downstairs resting, so check on her real quick while I'm down there heating my coffee. And while I'm doing all that, you all can enjoy the Take Me Out to the Ball Game. While I do what needs to be done, heating my coffee. So 7th inning stretch time, Twins lead at 5-2. New pitcher George Frazier coming in the bottom of the 7th to face pinch hitter Dave Bergman. And we'll be right back in about 1 minute. All right, we are back for the bottom of the 7th. We have a trivia question, World Series trivia question at the top of the 8th. So put your World Series trivia thinking caps on for that. Right now, bottom of the 7th, George Frazier. We'll get the numbers on Frazier and see what he did, and also get the numbers on Bergman. Frazier, first of all, in the real season, 5-5, 4.98 ERA, and did get 2 saves. In the replay, he is 1-0 with no saves and a 6.21 earned run average, so a little bit higher than what he did real world. And now we'll look at the Tigers and look at pinch hitter Dave Bergman. Bergman on the real season was a 273 hitter, 6 home runs, and 172 at bats. In the replay, he is hitting 250 with 1 home run and 52 at bats. So he's had approximately 1/3 of his at bats, but only 1/6 of his home runs, but roughly almost half of his runs batted in. So see what Bergman can do to get this jump started for the Tigers. It's a 1-8, and he's going to draw a walk. So nothing wrong with that. You need base runners. Doesn't matter how you get them. Of course, he's no threat to run, but it does flip the order over to the Lou Whitaker. Look, that white die didn't go through. Hold 1 second. And unfortunately, what's happening to me is what happens to me almost every year. When the seasons change, I somehow get a cold. I don't know why, but just I guess it's the weather. I don't know what it is, but it happens every spring and every fall. All right, here's 1-8 for Whitaker, and he's going to get a 1-6 single. Devil dies a 15 though, so he lines it to second base. And Lombardozzi is right there. So if you hear little sniffles here and there, that's what's going on. Here is Darrell Evans, who is now playing third base, or now will play third base. He hasn't done it yet, but he will do it in the top of the 8th. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Darrell Evans. 6-6, and that's a double to right field. Solid double, clean into right field. Bergman, though, doesn't run all that well. He runs at an 11, not being held via 12. Right field, Bernansky, though, is a -1, makes him 11. So I think down 5-2, it would be prudent to hold him at third base, especially with Gibson and Trammell coming up. So second and third, with only 1 out. Infield back for the Twins. They need outs. And the tying runs at the plate in Kirk Gibson. 6-9, and that's a 1 for a double. Anything else is a single 2 stars. That'll score 2 runs, and Frazier may need some relief himself. He is not getting the job done. 2-run single for Gibson cuts the lead to 5-4. And the Twins bullpen is Keith Atherton is warming up as fast as he can, because now it's a 5-4 game. Well, forgot to put Frazier over here, didn't I? So it's a 5-4 game. Gibson's at first base. Let's see what kind of hold rating Frazier has. He's a +5. So that makes it very tempting to steal for Gibson. He needs a 5 or a 6 to get the lead. And he gets the lead, so he's going to go. He's a 1-19. He held a 17, but the +5 is a 22. Of course, 19 being the most you can have. Laudner's T rating is a T8. But they'll still throw through and try to get the 20, but they don't. That's a 2, so it's a possible throwing error on Laudner. But he does not throw it away. So Gibson steals the base. So the tying runs in scoring position for Alan Trammell with only 1 out. Boy, first base is open to be a gutsy move, and they're going to do it. They're going to intentionally walk Trammell and bring in the Colonel Joe Klink, the lefty, to face Matt Noakes. I know it's unconventional, but that's what they're going to do. So we'll intentionally walk Trammell, and Matt Noakes will not face Frazier. He will face the Colonel Joe Klink. So Frazier pitches a third of an inning, but boy, he just had a rough outing there. So we go to the Colonel Joe Klink, the only lefty in the bullpen for the Twins. Get his card ready to go, as Kathy's trivia question is getting cold with this long-running 7th inning. Frazier is down goes Frazier, as they say. So here's Joe Klink, the Colonel. Real season, he was 0-1 with a 6.65 ERA. In the replay, he's 0-0 with a 4.22 ERA, 11 innings pitched, 14 hits, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. So for Frazier, a third of an inning. And Klink is a -4 hold, so that certainly improves their lot there. So third of an inning for Frazier. He's going to walk 2. One of them was intentional. Gave up 2 hits. So far, 2 runs, but he's responsible for both of these runners. So he could actually take the loss in this game if it goes south. So Joe Klink facing Matt Noakes, but you're not going to pinch hit for Noakes. Lefty on lefty. He just hit the home run last time. So we'll see what happens. They do set up a double play as well. 1-5, and that is a, look at this, 1-15 home run, but that's a 17. Boy, Klink just escaped big time. 1-17 is just a deep fly to right, and that's 2 away. Almost another home run for Noakes. He came up just short. And it'll be Pat Sheridan, but he will not bat. Pat Sheridan, not a very good hitter against lefties. So the Tigers will go to their bench for a right-handed hitter. And it will be Larry Herndon. So Herndon will pick up a bat and hit for Sheridan and stay in the game to play. Actually, he may go to left field. They might move Gibson to right field. No, Gibson is not rated for right field, so he's going to stay in the game and play right field, period. So Larry Herndon pinch hits here in the 7th and goes to right field in the 8th. So Larry Herndon against the Colonel Klink. Let's get the numbers for Herndon on the replay. Larry Herndon. And actually, Strat Computer is also showing Whale Wanderer on the team, so this is really weird. They're one day ahead of my other source, Diamond Mine Baseball. So I'll go, since they've got it for Strat, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll use their roster moves. So we'll go with it. All right, Herndon on the real season, Herndon hit .324, 9 homers and only 225 at bats. He had 79% of his at bats came against left-handed pitching. And on the replay, he's hitting .294, 4 homers, 9 driven in. So Klink pitching to Herndon. It's a 2-5, and that's going to be a 1-7 triple. 8-20 is a double. That will be a double. That will tie this game, and Alan Trammell might be, Trammell might be trying to score. He's a 14, not being held to 15. 2 outs is a 17. The double is assumed to go to center. So Gladden's a 0. So it's a 1-17. They're going to send him. And he's in there. So it's a 2-run pinch hit double for Larry Herndon. The Tigers have come all the way back with a 4-score inning here in the bottom of the 7th to take a 6-5 lead. All 4 of these runs are charged to poor George Frazier. And he's in a world of hurt here. Klink didn't get it done on the 2-run double off the bat of Larry Herndon. So here's Heath. Klink trying to get out of this. 1-7, and he does. Ground ball to short. Ends the inning. But a 4-score Abraham Lincoln inning for the Tigers, and they lead it now 6-5. They come all the way back. Straker, of course, is not able to get the win anymore. And Walt Terrell is actually off the hook now. That's going to be it for Klink. They're going to go to somebody else out of the bullpen. And hello, Jeremy. Good to see you. So we're going to the top of the 8th. If you want to check your attention to the chat box, Kathy has a World Series trivia question. I hope they can get too cold sitting there. But she's got a World Series trivia question for you before we start the top of the 8th. While I do some administrative duties on the computer to get everything straightened out, put players where they need to be. All right, so here is your trivia question, folks. Who has hit 3 home runs in one game of World Series and did it twice in 2 different World Series? 3 home runs in one game of World Series and did it twice. We got a Bill guess of Ruth. That seems to be a safe answer most cases, but you never know. Stranger things can. Well, now Jeff has said that as well. So we shall see. Get the confirmation from Kathy before we go any further. I mean, Ruth seems like the logical choice. There you go. I would say it's a no-brainer, but I guess it wasn't totally a no-brainer. But he was certainly the first obvious choice to think of was Babe Ruth. But that's one of those questions you never know. I mean, could be somebody off the wall you never heard of that had a great World Series. So, all right. I'm assuming he did it in probably like 21 or 27. I don't know the years, but anyway, was it 26? 26 and 28? Oh, 26 and 28. Okay, so it wasn't in 27. 27 is like the year everybody thinks of with Roof having a great year. But he did in 26 and 28. I know they played the Cardinals. I think they played the Cardinals in 26. I'm not sure if they played them again in 28 or somebody else. All right, anyway, Mike Henneman all of a sudden now is the pitcher record. He can get the win, and maybe they will use Willie Hernandez to get the save. Who knows? It's a 6-5 game. Here's Greg Gagne. In fact, they're Cardinals in both. Okay. In fact, with Herbeck coming up, I think we're going to have Willie Hernandez is loosening now to face Kent Herbeck because Kent Herbeck traditionally struggles, in 87 at least, struggled against left-handed pitching. So Gagne is going to be on to face Henneman. 3-10 for Gagne, and that's a fly to center field. One away. So Willie Hernandez is ready to go. And he would come in and face Herbeck and go for a 4-out save, which in 1987 was par for the course. Do it today, you're a hero. All right, here's Puckett. That's a 3-3 for Puckett, and he's going to ground it to third, and that's going to be Darrell Evans. I'll tell you what, you put a new fielder at a position, the ball will find you. And it just did. And so that's it for Henneman. Henneman is done, but he did his job. I mean, he did it in spades. He pitched 2 2/3 innings for Mike Henneman. Gave up nothing and got a strikeout. So he's in line to get the win. And they will bring in Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez, to try to close the deal. Willie Hernandez. On the real season, Willie Hernandez was 3-4 with a 367 earned run average. Let's see. It's got to be his first game of the replay. I don't remember him playing before. So, yep, this is his initial appearance. In the real world, he had 8 saves, 3-4, 367 ERA, and 8 saves. So we'll see what he can do here. He's going to face Kent Herbeck. And again, Kent Herbeck traditionally much lesser against lefties than he is righties. So Willie Hernandez is a -2, so that makes him a -4 on the hold. And now with 2 outs and the bases empty, it's Willie Hernandez against Kent Herbeck. 4-7, ground ball shortstop. Trammell is there. He's a 1. You know he's going to get to it. His only errors are 6, 15, and 17. And he'll make the play easily. That will end the inning. So we can close the book on Henneman. Tigers still lead it by the score of 6-5. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Twins will bring on a new pitcher. It'll be Lemons, Bergman, and Whitaker due up. Twins will send in Mr. Atherton, Keith Atherton. He was 7-5 with a 4.54 ERA in the real season. Hey, Jeremiah, good to see you. You can always catch him on the replay. That's or what Jeff calls on demand, I think is what he termed it. But it's always around 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern. Maybe I think today was closer to 9:15, but generally it's between 9 and 9:15. Let's see. So Keith Atherton will be coming on. pitch as Klink will finish the numbers on Klink as well. Let me get the numbers on Klink. Klink is going to go 2/3 of an inning, give up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, but he did give up the inherited runners that were counted against Frazier. So now Atherton is on, and we'll see what he did in the what he's done in the replay to this point. Keith Atherton trying to keep the score where it is. He is in the real world. Once again, he was 7-5 with 2 saves, 4.54 ERA. On the replay, he is 1-5 with 2 saves, but an 8.13 ERA. He's really been struggling. So he's going to face Chet Lemon to start the bottom of the 8th. 4-3, and that is a split chance. 1-14 is a single. That is a 14. So Chet Lemon, RBI single, or not RBI single, but leadoff single. That'll bring up Bergman. I would bunt here, but Bergman's not a very good bunter, so we're just going to have him swing away. Not a very good hit and run man either, so take your chances with Bergman, see what he will do. He walked in his only appearance so far. 6-5, and he will ground to second base, but it's a C, so it acts just like a sacrifice. They get the benefits of a sacrifice with the runner moving into scoring position, and that is a key insurance run. Key insurance run, and Lemon runs at a 12, so he's so-so. I thought he was faster than that, but maybe that was in his younger days. All right, so Lou Whitaker is up. Atherton facing Whitaker. We get a 2-7 for Whitaker, and he's going to draw the base on balls. That'll put runners at first and second. One silver lining is it does set up a double play for the slow-running Darrell Evans, who hits into some double plays. Although not that many, he was more of a fly ball hitter. Most of his ground balls seem to be B's, actually. He's got 1A there, but most of his ground balls are B's. So maybe not such a good double play candidate. Oh, that 1D6 didn't make it, so we're going to re-roll this. It is a 4-9, and that's going to be another walk from Atherton. That's going to load the bases, so I don't think Atherton was thinking that. Bases are loaded. Tigers about ready to blow this thing wide open. They got Kirk Gibson coming up. Twins bullpen, other than Jeff Reardon, has been meh at best. So here's Gibson. The infield for the Twins, boy, they're going to play in. They don't have any choice, but there are some pluses here on Gibson's card to keep an eye on. That's a 6-7. Ground ball shortstop exit is to Gagne. He's a 2E24. The infield is in. 2E24. 2-5. That's iffy. That might get through. 2-5. It does with the infield in. That pound sign means it's a 2-run single. By playing the infield in, they would have got the out at first with the infield back, but by playing in, and you're down by a run the 8th inning, you kind of had to. The double die is going to make them get a 2-run single. That's an 11, and Gagne is a 24. No error there, but it is a single 2 stars for Kirk Gibson. And the Tigers add 2 insurance runs, not 1, but 2 insurance runs. And Evans motors to third. So Keith Atherton in bad shape, and Tom Kelly not happy about it. But that's just the way it is. I mean, you had to play the infield in given the score. You had no choice. So here's Trammell. Again, the infield is in. .27, and look at this. I got to make sure this is super advanced. I believe with the infield in, the plus signs turn into hits as well. It may just be advanced. I don't play the infield in all that much, so I want to double check this. Sometimes you get confused on advanced versus super advanced rules, so I want to look at this. I don't want to mess this up, so I'd rather take a second and review it just to be on the safe side. Let's see here. Yep, when the infield is in all the way, ground ball plus with the plus sign is a single 2 stars, just like the pound sign. So it's a single 2 stars by playing the infield in again. Had they been playing back, it would have been a double play. But I mean, you're down. You can't afford to take that chance. So it's a RBI single from Alan Trammell. And that's going to make it 9-5, Dolly Parton style. 9-5. Still only one out for Matt Noakes. So Noakes, 6-10, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-15, but that's a 17, but that's going to be a triple for Matt Noakes if we allow it. He did have 2 triples, so we will allow it. It's a triple for Matt Noakes, a 2-run triple, and this is getting out of hand, 11-5. Atherton's getting smacked around big time on the triple for Noakes. And man, look at that. I'm a double away from a cycle. I've never had a cycle. Noakes has had a single, a home run, and a triple. Unfortunately, he misses out on the double. Usually it's the triple I miss out on, but this one's missing out on the triple. So here's Larry Herndon. That's a 2-2. And again, with the infield in, the 2-2, the shortstop A+ is going to be a base hit. Single's going to score the run. So that's 3 times the infield's been in and it's cost them. Twins just can't catch a break. 6 runs in the inning, so 10 runs off the Twin bullpen. Tells you how bad the Twins bullpen is. 10 runs in 2 innings. Still only 1 out. They're going to bat around unless there's a double play. Infield now back for the double play, not that it matters. 5-5 is a fly to center. That's 2 outs. But now we're going to bat around as Lemon, who led off the inning with the single, will come up to bat again. As Atherton just getting pounded. Herndon at first. No threat to do anything. 3-9, and that's going to be a walk, and that's going to keep the inning going. It's going to put runners. No, wait a minute. That should have been Heath. It should have been Heath. Now I'm getting confused. No, it was Lemon. All right, now something's off here. It should have been Heath, not Lemon. What did Lemon do? All right, there's a little bit of confusion here. Let me check my game results and see what's going on here. Good thing I got the computer to check the play-by-play. Getting a little wild here in this bottom half of the inning. Why do I have Heath flying out? Did Heath fly out? I don't remember Heath flying out. I thought Heath got a base hit. No, I know. What's his name got a hit. Did Heath fly to left? I'm guessing he flew to left. I don't remember. Man, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the stream here for a couple seconds. Give me a second, folks. I want to make sure I get it right, or at least attempt to get it right, and try to figure out what was going on here. All right, we had Herndon coming up, and he found the result, which was that with the infield in and a runner at third, Herndon got the base hit. So I think this walk thing definitely doesn't belong here. Herndon got the base hit. All right, Heath came up. Let's look at Heath's roll real quick. We'll see what he did. Heath rolled a 5-5, which was a fly to center. Okay, so that's good. Heath flew to center. Okay, so now Lemon, who's up now, is going to bat. The batting around is what threw me off, I think. So it is truly Lemon's at bat. As far as I can tell, it is Lemon's at bat. And let's see, did we do something with Lemon? Did we bat, or is that where I got confused? All right, Lemon is up. We rolled a 3-9. 3-9 for Lemon was a walk. Okay, so Lemon walks. And now I believe we're up to Bergman and we're back to where we need to be. Okay, the batting around is what screwed me up. That's what messed me up. So first and second, 2 outs. Okay, Atherton is fatigued, but he's taking one for the team here. Needs one more out to get out of the inning. Here's Bergman. That's a 2, chance for balk or pass ball. Looking at the pass ball rating on Laudner, which is a 6. No pass ball. So here's Bergman. 5-9. And that's trouble here. 1 to 5 is a triple. 6 to 20 is a double. That's a double for Bergman. And I think that's going to probably be it for Atherton. Lemon runs at a 12. Not being held makes him a 13. 2 outs makes him a 15. So 1 to 15, they're going to send him. And he's in there. So it's a 2-run double off the bat of Bergman. 2-run double. And now that's 8 runs in the inning. And that's going to definitely be it for Atherton. He will leave, and the Twins will go to a position player to try to get this last out. The Twins, on their bench, who is the most likely guy to pitch? They're going to pick Gene Larkin, usually a designated hitter. But Gene Larkin's going to pitch. So what that means is we go to our book, and there is a position player pitching card that will be used when we roll a 4, 5, or 6 right here. Oops, that's the wrong thing. That's a defensive shift roll. This is what I was talking about. If we roll a 4, 5, or 6, we're going to use this. So Lou Whitaker is up. And if we roll a 1, 2, 3, of course, we'll go off his card. And if not, we'll go off of this chart. Runner at second is Bergman with 2 outs. And the pitch to Whitaker. It's a 3-9, so we're going off Whitaker. That's a single, but it's an anti-clutch. Now, do you really call it clutch when it's 14 to 5? By technical rule, it is a clutch. So we'll call it an out, pop it up to second to end the inning. Can't really say it's clutch when it's a 9-run deficit in the last inning, but 8 runs there in the inning, and we can finally close the book on Atherton, which was pitiful. Atherton only pitched 2/3 of an inning. And we'll go to the box score and get the gory details. And all of this, Willie Hernandez, by coming in with 2 outs in the 8th inning when the score was still 6 to 5, he qualifies for the save. Despite what's happened here in the bottom of the 8th, he still qualifies for the save. So, Atherton, 2/3 of an inning, 6 hits and 8 runs. Boy, talk about a ding to your ERA. 3 walks and no strikeouts. So the Tigers have pounded out 15 hits and they've drawn 8 walks. So 23 base runners by the Twins. 20 plus an error makes it 24. Been 24 base runners in 8 innings for the Tigers. Most of them have occurred in the last 2 innings. All right, so with all that in mind, Willie Hernandez will come out and try to clean up and get the save. He's going to be facing Gaetti. Hello, Fast Action. He's going to be facing Gaetti here in the top of the 9th, along with Smalley and Bernansky. 14 to 5. Tigers, they were down 5 to 1. They've scored 13 unanswered runs. 6-5 for Willie Hernandez. That's an in-home run chance, 1 to 2. And that is a 2. Gary Gaetti greets Willie Hernandez with a home run. Second home run of the game for Gaetti. Makes it 14 to 6. That's his 11th home run. So maybe a loss of concentration. RBI number 41. Maybe a loss of concentration by Hernandez with the big lead. But he gives up a leadoff home run. Here's Roy Smalley, designated hitter. 4-5, switcher batting right-handed. That's a fly to center. Hauled in by Lemon. One away for Brunansky. 4-11, and that's a ground ball first base X. That's Bergman. Bergman, where's his number? Bergman is a 2E12 for Dave Bergman. 2E12. 2 and 20, he'll get to it. E12 and a 12. I don't think that'll be a problem, but you never know. E12, there's no 12 there, so Bergman gets it, flips to Hernandez covering, 2 down. And now the last chance for the Twins, but it won't be Lombardozzi. They will bring on a pinch hitter, Mark Davidson, a right-hander. He will come on and pinch hit for the Twins just to get him in at bat. Mark Davidson. On the real season, 267 average, 1 home run and 267 average for Mark Davidson. On the replay, get his numbers. Davidson. Hitting 241, 1 homer, 5 driven in 58 at bats. 3-7 for Davidson, struck him out, and that's the ball game. Willie Hernandez gets that last strikeout, goes an inning and a third, does give up the home run, but that was it. Didn't walk anybody and struck out the last batter he faces, so it's going to be a total of 14-6 victory for the Tigers over the Twins. And we'll get the box score. Losing pitcher is George Frazier. Winning pitcher is going to be Mike Henneman. And Willie Hernandez will gain his first save of the season. Henneman, with the win, goes to 2-2. Hernandez, his first save. Frazier drops to 1-1 with the loss. And Atherton's ERA just skyrocketed to 10.48 after this outing here. So Tigers win it in convincing fashion, 14-6. Final line score, 14 runs, 15 hits, and an error for Detroit. 6 runs, 8 hits, and an error for Minnesota. Detroit left 8 on base. Minnesota only left 2 on base. Player of the game, Matt Noakes. He was 3 for 4, was Matt Noakes. 3 for 4, including a home run and a triple. So Matt Noakes is your player of the game for the Tigers. Catcher, Matt Noakes. He is the man, Matt Noakes. Matt Noakes is your player of the game for the Tigers. That was game number 316. Tomorrow we move on to game 317. And we're going to have Texas and Kansas City. And it'll be ID Jester's favorite pitcher, Mark Gubaza. Mark Gubaza will be on the mound against Charlie Huff for the Texas Rangers. And that will complete the May 29th date. I've already played the other 2 games, Seattle and Baltimore, and Milwaukee, Cleveland, been played offline. Cleveland did beat Milwaukee, surprisingly enough. So that's going to drop Milwaukee a game and a half, I believe, behind the Yankees. Of course, Cleveland so far back, it doesn't matter. And in the other game, Seattle beat Baltimore, but they're both bottom feeders, so it doesn't really matter on that either, except that Mark Langston got the win. But no goblins messing with the internet. It was nice to see that it wasn't a problem, as far as all that goes. So looking at the standings now with this game input, let's see what the Tigers do. The Tigers now pulled within even 5 games of the Yankees. They are 25-20 are the Tigers. Yankees are 31-16. Milwaukee with the loss drops a game back. Toronto is 2 games back. And with the loss, Minnesota drops to 22-25. They are 4.5 games back of the Oakland A's. But at this point in the season, Minnesota was 24-23 real world. So only 2 games off. So it's not, like they're in dire straits or anything. Only 2 games off the pace. Tigers were 24-21 at this point in real world. So they're 1 game better than what they were in real world. So again, very, very close. So again, tomorrow morning, roughly between 9 and 9:15, I'm going to shoot closer to 9 o'clock this time. I was a little bit late this morning. Shooting for 9 o'clock. Texas and Kansas City from Kansas City, from Royal Stadium or Kauffman Stadium, whatever they called it. Singles will be 1-11, home runs 1-3 only. It'll be game number 317, and Mark Gubaza against Charlie Huff of the Rangers in that one. If Kansas City wins, they are 2.5 games back of Oakland in second place. If they win, they'll pull within 2 games of Oakland. If they lose, they'll drop to third place, and the White Sox will pass them. So it's a very important game for Kansas City. Texas is 5.5 games back, so if they win, they're pulled within 5 games and only a half game back of Minnesota. So a lot of juggling there in that very, very what you would call even American League West. So anything can happen with that. And looking ahead, I've already got the schedule, or the first 2 games scheduled for next week. Next Monday will be at Yankee Stadium. It'll be the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees. Joaquin Andujar against Joe Niekro. And then California, Toronto, Jimmy Key will be going for another win against Jack Lazorko of the Angels. That'll be next week. That'll be the first 2 games, Monday and Tuesday of next week. Although that might be in jeopardy. So I'm not sure when I'm going to play those games. So I gotta double check on that, because on let's see what the calendar shows here. I believe it's Monday. Let me double check it and make sure I'm right, because this is nothing I don't want to get wrong. If I get this wrong, I'm really in trouble. Yes, Monday, November 3rd is the Mrs. and mine 30th anniversary. So that's a very important date. So it may not have a game Monday after all, now that I think about it. So we're probably looking at Tuesday of next week, because Monday may, or depending on what's going on, she might say go ahead and play or whatever. I don't know, but I'm going to leave that open, because that's a very important date. So might be Tuesday for that. Now that I think about it, I don't want to get ahead of myself too far. But anyway, that's your ball game from here. Once again, tomorrow we'll be in Kansas City, as the Rangers will be facing off against the Royals. So that's going to do it from here. If you're so interested, I will be playing at noon today on History Maker Baseball, Game 5 of the World Series that was played last night. It'll be Trey Yesavage against Blake Snell. And we'll see if, in my replay, the one I'm doing, the Dodgers have a 3-1 lead, so they can wrap it up with a victory there. So it's on the shoulders of young Trey Yesavage to keep the Blue Jays in the game and send it back to Toronto for a Game 6. If not, the Dodgers will celebrate at home. That's going to be roughly at noon today. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow morning will be Texas and Kansas City. And then tomorrow afternoon will be the National League game that's going to get played on May the 29th from 1987. That's kind of a tradition I've started now on Fridays. And that's going to be the New York Mets against the San Diego Padres. So you get to see Darryl Strawberry, Lenny Dykstra, and that crew as they will take on the Padres. Actually, Lenny Dykstra will be on the bench, because Mookie Wilson will start with the lefty on the mound. It'll be Dave Trevecki against Ron Darling. So you get to see Tony Gwynn, Darryl Strawberry, and guys like that. A very young Benito Santiago. So it should be interesting to see that. But that's the plan going forward. Saturday, I have no idea what's going on. So I'm not going to plan anything for Saturday. We'll have to just figure it out. So I guess Saturday, if the Toronto Blue Jays win my game today and we play a Game 6, then I'll replay Game 6 on Saturday. But other than that, I'm wide open on that. And plus with the anniversary weekend, I have no idea, what's going to be going on. So I can't really plan anything. Let's go play it by ear, see what happens. But hope you enjoyed that presentation today on this Thursday morning for the Detroit Tigers coming back from down 5-1 after going to the bottom of the 6th. That little home run by Noakes kind of got them going, cut it to 5-2. But then, boy, they just took off against George Frazier, Joe Klink, and Keith Atherton. They just had big-time issues. And the Tigers get the win. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.